Hey, everybody, if you're watching this episode of the podcast on YouTube, just want to remind you that we broadcast the podcast live Monday evenings exclusively for first members at roosterteeth.com. You can click the link below for a 30-day free trial and check it out live.
Should have heard the intensity of the countdown that led up to that. If only Gavin were here to see that.
Welcome to the podcast. This week brought to you by Betterment, Blue Apron, and Braintree.
Which podcast is it, Gus? I
don't know.
Both.
In the final version, this will be the Rooster Teeth podcast. If you're watching it live, who knows?
I will be on Twitter. My name is Bernie Burns, and I will be answering all your questions here on the televised program if you tweet us using the hashtag RT Podcast.
Hashtag RT Podcast.
If you use the hashtag RT Podcast.
Yeah, that's how you got to say it. You
Is it necessary to say it again?
Yeah. It absolutely is necessary.
If you want to call me on the phone number 555.
Chris, back me up. If you use the hashtag
RT Podcast.
I just use it the once.
Just the once?
Just the once.
Like a normal, sane
Go
person.
fuck yourselves.
If
No.
you
still
wanna
say-
use the
you still go to the-
hashtag
You're going to have people
pound
out there
RT Podcast.
doing hashtag like a space and then RT Podcast, and their question will be lost.
Do you still say go to the website www.roosterteeth.com or
What do
just
you
say
think about that?
Ooh,
go
they
to
wrote-
roosterteeth.com?
They wrote that into an ad read and on the spot this last week, and it really bothered me because I Ron Burgundy it. I'll read whatever they put on there, and it said www, and I really didn't like that. It felt really dumb to say that.
You know, the progress of that address bar in a browser has made a lot of progress. It has.
The progress has made a lot of progress.
I'm just doubling up on words today. I like all my words so much I want to use them twice.
If only there was a progress bar.
I'm very
to show.
tired.
Yeah.
No, it used to be you had to put the HTTP:// and I remember there came a point in time when I was constantly telling people you don't have to put. All right, never mind. And then now you don't even have to put the www, and now you don't even have to put the name of the address. You just type whatever you want, and it just like shows
I don't
up.
even put .com anymore. It's just you type in what you're trying to look for, and the worst thing it does, it takes you to Google. And then
I'm so lazy that I normally visit just the same websites over and over. Then I'll just type like the first two letters of it, and if it autocompletes, I just hit enter. If it doesn't autocomplete, I hit enter anyway. So it's like,
trust.
I'm just in Google like, oh, fuck.
That's a trust enter.
Yeah, I didn't get there.
Close enough.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm John.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Gus.
And I'm Bernie.
Oh, damn. I got beaten to it.
Doubling out. I get to double today.
You're doubling. You're the double man today.
Hashtag Bernie. .com. HTTP
Confusing.
hashtag.com.
Because is the word hashtag part of the hashtag?
No, it's hashtag RT Podcast.
We got in this debate the other day. So when you read something on Twitter and you say I was like, how would you write in a tweet and tag me that you went to my house for Game of Thrones night? I'm asking you, John Ricing.
Like if I was going to say I was at Bernie's house.
Right. How would you write that on Twitter?
The at symbol doesn't count. I'd put AT.
Nope.
I still stand
here's
by
the
it.
debate,
Symbol,
to be
Bernie's
clear.
house.
There's two ways you could write that on Twitter. You could write, I was at Bernie's house for dinner, like the symbol at, as part of my tag name. Or you just write, I was
Bernie's house.
Symbol Bernie's house.
Reads I was Bernie's house.
I was Bernie's house.
Yeah,
That's how-
I was Bernie's house. What about you, Chris?
I agree.
Nope.
You need the at. You
Nope.
need the at. Because
it's
So
grammar.
what do?
I was Bernie's house.
You would write that?
Yeah, sure.
You're a lunatic.
I am.
So when
I've
you
never
read
disputed
Twitter
that.
all the time, does it always sound like when say I went to dinner with you? It's like I went to dinner with at Sorolla.
Yeah.
That's how you read it.
See?
Sure.
In any other context, you wouldn't say the at.
Right.
With at Sorolla.
Here I am with at Sorolla.
And in my mind, like seeing that just equates to the person in that context.
So
In that context,
Right.
but your mind will fix it when you say I was at Sorolla's house.
Yeah, the mind's a powerful thing. You'd be surprised at all the things it
your
can
mind
do.
doesn't work that fast.
BS.
Your mind,
BS.
no,
Totally.
that's horrible.
It totally does.
Plus, I'm never making that tweet that I went to dinner with Gus and had a nice
Yeah,
time.
well, that's the thing that threw
tweet's
me off
never
about
happening.
That, is that seemed weird to begin with. One, that it happened, and two, you'd be tweeting about it.
Can you please, Bernie, please, the next time you go to dinner with Gus, please tweet that.
Okay, let's say, Gus, you and I went to a meal of some kind. Probably not dinner. Lunch is more likely.
Okay, we went to lunch. Where'd we go?
What about breakfast?
So we
No,
go
I
to
don't eat
lunch.
breakfast.
If I said at the end of the lunch, hold on a second, Gus, here, let's take a selfie. I need to tweet this or post it on Instagram. What would you do? Would that be the last time you speak to me?
No, I'd post her a fucking picture.
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah, let's do it.
If I busted out and I said, we're going to take a selfie at lunch, you and me.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm down.
I can't imagine that.
Gus, can we take a selfie?
Let's take a selfie.
Can we take a selfie?
literally-
There we go.
I wanted to be in the selfie. No one asked me if I wanted to be in the
Bernie,
selfie or not.
Bernie, do you want to take a selfie?
It was my story.
Take a selfie?
Fuck off, John.
Look at the cool guy flipping the camera off.
I did a thing I never do. I never flip off a camera. And I did it there
Ooh,
to
look
be
what I got.
I did it to be funny, but I hate when people do that in photos.
Right. So rebellious.
It's just like so I don't know something. It's
On the topic of
try hard.
being in a group of people and saying, "Do you guys want to take a selfie?" I went
Hashtag selfie.
hashtag selfie. I went bouldering with a bunch of people on Saturday.
Okay, bouldering. That sounds like that could be
As soon as
really
you
dirty.
said it, I knew it was gonna upset Gus.
It is dirty, Gus. You make it as dirty as you want, man.
I was bouldering that dude so hard.
I went bouldering with some dudes I met on
As you
Craigslist.
do. As you do. I went bouldering with
Missed
a bunch
encounters.
of people.
We were bouldering on East 4th Street. All right, go ahead.
And we all got done. A bunch of us were gonna go get some food / a drink afterwards. And I was with Max Kremke, Patrick Matthews, and Ellie Man, all from Live Action. And I said, "Hey, do you guys want to take a selfie?" I've never been in a group of people that have been more excited about that prospect. They were just like, "Yes," and just immediately all got in squad formation, ready for a selfie.
Really?
Yeah.
People are up for that now. Yeah, I was reading a.
Like normally, I feel like almost ashamed to ask that.
What's that?
I almost feel ashamed. Like, "Hey, you guys want to take a selfie?" Like you wonder if people are gonna scoff.
No.
You
Like,
do?
Yeah, I wonder.
But you're way under that line age-wise, where it's like selfies the default photo.
I think there's something to that argument. There's something we said about like having a genuine moment without posting it on social media.
Yeah.
I
And
usually don't post anything I do on a personal basis on social media.
You don't?
I typically don't.
No, you're
I don't-
pretty.
I don't do a lot of personal
No,
stuff.
Bernie doesn't.
Do you know why I don't do it though? I do it because of the FOMO thing. Like I've dealt with that too much.
Yeah.
Where people just feel. I don't think people feel good when they see you doing something that you're
Yeah.
enjoying in your personal life. I think they just feel like, oh, I wish I was doing that. You know what I mean? I just like I don't.
I think I'm a weirdo. Like I know I'm a weirdo, but I'm a clear exception to that because I see like people gather, people at a party, or people going out. I'm like, oh, good for them. I'm glad I'm at home. Like I have no desire ever to.
No,
to
I
be
feel the
out
same way
there
too. But I
doing
get
that.
feedback from like that a lot of times. Like you'll see it sometimes with some of the people that are at our company. Somebody will post they're out with a group, and then
Yeah.
somebody who's not in the group's just like, oh hey, great photo.
You can say it. It's
Well, that's
Blaine.
what
It's
that's what Blaine told that story last
Blaine's
week
not
on
the
the
only person who
podcast.
does it. though. Barb also does it. They get that flat. What's the flat smile emoji?
Yeah.
I like that emoji.
That's pretty good.
Does the flat side smile emoji also pull its chin in to get like double chins while it does it?
This is my one
That's a good one.
because it covers my double chin. That's my favorite one.
I have what's it called when you have FOMO?
Chlamydia. What?
Bernie, come on. Why?
Listen, sorry. I have
What's it
access to
mean?
medical records.
When you have FOMO, but then also once you also don't actually want to go do things.
It's called psychosis.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, really. I mean, I can imagine that's a lot of people actually who do.
Like
by the way,
I have a
I
fear of
wanted
missing
the
out.
option of turning everyone down.
Yes.
what is? I wanted. Somebody else said that. Somebody else said that to me. They want the option. They want to be asked so they can say no. And I was like, "What? That's
No,
ridiculous."
but I don't get asked to say no. But often I have a fear of missing out for like going to like events, stuff like that. But then often when I go to events, I only want to be there for a little bit, and then I just want to go home.
And just to be clear, what we're talking about here, FOMO means fear of missing
I
out.
just
missing
put that
out.
together.
Okay, sorry. We should have explained that.
No,
earlier.
like no. I was about to ask, what does FOMO mean? But then it's like when he said fear of missing out, I'm like, yeah, okay.
It's just basically whenever you
Wait,
see
you
stuff on
figured it out
social.
once I said the actual succession of words?
yeah.
Have you ever heard of
Brilliant
FOMO before?
deduction.
I have heard of it before.
You might have
but-
also seen it written out and
Yeah,
not said out loud.
Maybe you thought it was like FOMO,
Nah.
FAMA.
I don't know.
But I don't know what other it's a good word that they came up with something that really didn't exist before. I guess jealousy is like the closest thing, but it's not quite jealousy.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like
It's
you
about-
said,
it's about-
people
it's-
don't want that thing. They just don't want to be left out of that thing.
want people to think
like
about
the inside
them.
joke.
Yeah.
It's like the inside joke. You don't want to be outside of the inside joke. And inside jokes happen at things and events and when people have conversations and stuff like that. So, when everyone's like, oh yeah, remember that time we all went to, Vegas? It's like, no, I wasn't there.
That's why people like memes, right? They want to be in on like an inside
Yeah.
joke without actually going and doing something.
That's like memes are like Mad Lib humor.
That's a
Where it's
great
just-
way of describing memes. It's the inside joke without having to go anywhere.
right, without having to necessarily know people. Or,
Yeah.
and it's
Being
like, oh yeah,
social.
we all laugh about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to be on Reddit or something like that.
Yeah, but you don't have to post. Like, you don't have to be social. You can just absorb it.
So
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about something, guys, that we were talking about this it reminded me of this when we were talking about the selfie being the default photo. I was reading an article about something, and then I actually switched to watching a video about it because I wanted to see it in the background. It was about a guy who got a Michelin star for a food stand that he has.
Okay.
He's like the only person in the world who has a street cart that has a Michelin star.
Interesting.
So I was reading this story about him, and I'm going to get it wrong, but it's something like something rice and chicken sauce stand. And he got invited out to the event and everything like that. And I was watching the video, and it was really cool to watch this guy like walking in this huge gala. I don't know why Michelin hands out stars. I think we've talked about this before. I don't know how the company that makes tires then got involved.
It's the same company. I just thought it was like a coincidence that there was
I think it
called
started
Michelin.
as a guide,
Right, for road trips.
Oh.
and then it became this ultra prestigious thing, which mascot happens to be a big dude made out of tires. I don't really get it, but people flip when they get a Michelin star. And this guy who runs, are you looking him up?
Yeah, I just
He's an
looked it
Asian
up.
guy, and anyway, he was walking to the gala, this huge moment, and I was watching, going, oh, I feel so good for this guy. He's walking in, and like in front of the welcome to the Michelin gala event, there's a girl like standing there taking a selfie, and not taking one, taking like 80 selfies, and like doing the whole posing and all
Yeah.
this stuff. And I'm just like, oh, you're killing it for me. You're absolutely fucking killing it for me there. I don't know why. I just like focused on her and nothing else, and I just couldn't fucking take it anymore. This heartwarming story about this guy on running a streetcar to get a fucking Michelin star, and all I can think about is the girl taking the billion selfies. So that reminded me of that.
It's a low res photo, but you can see here that like their promotional images. It's like the Michelin tire dude holding the book.
Is that the one that has the restaurants with the Michelin stars in it?
Yeah.
Well, the mascot kind of looks like someone who knows good food.
So dumb. You know those people go to work every day. The people who are like, well, we're going to be reviewing this 5-star restaurant in downtown Paris also. And like, meanwhile, the guys who are like, hey, we discovered a new kind of rubber, down the hallway. You know, those guys are like, can we get a different office? It's like, when are we going to like part ways here? We have to at some point, right?
I like your reduction of what happens at the Michelin like office where they're like discovering new kinds of rubber and
What
sounding
else are
like
they
a bunch
doing?
of frat boys like, hey, we discovered it like we did.
Didn't they release that proof of concept for the spherical tire?
Yes.
Was that Michelin?
And it's like, I don't understand how that tire is separate from the car. It looks like it's a mesh, like a nanobot tire that like moves along with the car.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It looks like it doesn't look like a driving system. It looks like a particle
I
physics.
think someone
in
tried to
action.
explain it to us, and they may have properly explained it last time on Twitter, but I
Forget it.
cannot remember. There it is. That's the
That's a tire.
Oh, that's not what I'm talking about.
that's the spherical tire. It's Goodyear.
That
not
is a
Michelin.
spherical tire. That's good. Well, not to be confused.
Not to be confused with Michelin.
Goodyear only rates strip joints. that's the only thing that they give stars to. Yeah, but I would think like they gotta like at some point they just gotta pull away, and be like, we're not exactly related. They would just say we got a different mascot. The Michelin dude's just so silly. I like the idea that the Michelin dude isn't made of tires, but he's just a big fat dude who ate at a bunch of really nice restaurants.
That's what I'm saying. He looks like someone who likes to eat. So
Yeah.
it's probably
He
makes
always
sense.
looks like
trust
to me
his-
like the guy, the guy from Ghostbusters, the big
The Stay Puft
marshmallow.
Marshmallow Man.
Stay
Yeah.
Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, I totally see that.
Everybody seen the new Ghostbusters?
I
No,
have not
I
yet.
have not.
No.
You have not?
No.
You have not?
No.
Nobody's seen it.
It seems like the kind of movie I'll watch like
You're
on a plane.
sexist. You ever think about that?
I was gonna go
I
s-
do have something to say about that. Let me read this.
Oh, yeah, do
and
your
then
thing, do your thing.
I'll get to that.
Nah, don't read it.
I want to remind everyone this episode of Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by Betterment. It's never too late to save for retirement and other financial goals. Betterment has changed the industry by making investing easier. Betterment is the largest independent automated investing service, managing more than $5 billion for over 175,000 customers. The financial services industry has embraced technology and innovation through the creation of automated investing, meaning that you keep more of your money with the fees that are a fraction of what you pay with traditional financial services. Betterment is a member of SIPC, which means your investments are protected. Bank level security means your personal data is too. Right now, get up to 6 months of no fees. Learn how at betterment.com/teeth. That's betterment.com/teeth. Betterment, investing made better. I think one of the more interesting things about Betterment is if you're not looking to plan necessarily for retirement, if you just have a goal, you can set a specific goal. Like if you want to save for a house down payment or a car, you set a goal and then they help guide you to get to that goal. So it's really an interesting service. You can check it out. Switching gears back to Ghostbusters. I mean, I'm glad they made another one, but it's just, I mean, I feel like I'm going to watch that movie on a plane.
Okay.
It really takes a lot.
There's definitely movies. Jungle Book's that movie. I'm waiting for that to. I'm waiting to go on a plane ride.
It takes a lot to
Book.
drag me out of my house to go watch a movie. The last one I watched was
Didn't see the new
Swiss Army
Star
Man.
Trek?
No, I still haven't seen Star Trek.
that.
I
So good.
still haven't seen Civil War.
I didn't like it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
You didn't like Star
I didn't
Trek?
like Star Trek. I felt like just another episode in a whole season of Star Trek, as opposed to like a movie that took years to make.
Star
I think
Trek
someone else said that.
Beyond.
Because
Or it could have been
tell me
you
this,
in
tell me
an
this.
earlier conversation.
This is not spoiler or anything like that, but tell me, did the characters,
Yes.
how they were at the very beginning of the movie and where they were in life, where they were in careers and relationships, did that change at all by the end of the film? Were any of them in a different position or have advanced at all in any of those relations?
Spock, I would say yes.
Other than them dealing with Nimoy's death,
Right.
other than that, in a almost 2 hour film, did they change at all?
Well, no, but I mean, it's like it is based on episodic television. How much did they? I guess they changed a ton.
That's
in
what
the
I'm
first
saying
one.
though.
Yeah.
In the series in the TV show, they didn't have to change very much in a single episode. But you expect movies that take years to come out, and you wait for them, and the movie itself is a 2 hour big old cinematic event. You know,
Yeah.
if nothing happened, it was like it was
Dude,
pointless.
Especially when you're talking about in terms of like even in like Star Wars or something.
Yeah.
Right. Every movie they grow, their
Yeah.
relationships change. They have a new path. Right.
Yeah.
And then not having seen the movie, I can't add anything else to that.
The problem, and this won't be too much of a spoiler, I don't think, but the problem that I've got with the reboot of the Star Trek movies is, and I'm going to talk a little bit for a second about, in very general terms, the plot of the new Star Trek movie by talking about the other ones. The problem I got was like all three movies now basically have the same device for conflict, which is there's a dude who shouldn't have better technology than the rest of the Federation of Planets,
Yeah.
which is like the biggest agency in the galaxy.
Yeah.
They have amazing things that even in this movie, they specifically show something they have that's incredible.
Yeah.
And yet another dude shows up who's basically marooned on a planet
Yeah.
by himself, and he has this amazing technology that like puts the Enterprise on the ropes, and
Yeah.
they're all gonna die, and how are they gonna beat this guy? It's like,
Destroys their ship in the first 20 minutes of the film.
and the original series wasn't like that. Khan was very much like that, but all the rest of them weren't necessarily like that. I mean, there was stuff like Voyage Home, there was stuff like Undiscovered Country.
This is
Yeah.
just
They
like
need
our
more-
animated adventure where you talk about
That
Star
was
Trek
funny.
is a guy on a planet who develops his revenge with technology he develops on that
The joke
planet.
I made, it's actually showed it before the movie I
Yeah.
saw, was that he somehow develops interstellar travel. The new reboot series is like, I mean, Nero in the first movie had that mining ship that was from the future, so it was way better than anything else and
Yeah.
could destroy planets. And Spock had that fucking whirly
little thing,
goo, whatever
yeah.
the fuck that thing was. And in the second movie, it was basically the Khan story again. And then the third movie, it's pretty similar. You see the Enterprise get ripped apart in the trailers.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, where do they get this shit? You know, it's like they can only stumble across so many unbelievably powerful people, you know, that they have a connection with.
It's
Yeah.
a big
You know?
universe.
Nah, it was this movie was as you know, as far as the series goes, pointless. Like they could have just skipped it.
I actually like the movie a lot. I like the movie just fine.
I've actually, and to be fair, I think I might one of the only people I've ever talked to since the movie came out that didn't like it.
I will say this. It's the only movie I've seen in that series, in the reboot series, where when some of the action takes place, I literally have no idea what's going on. Like
Someone else said that,
There was
too.
a whole scene where it's like there are people fighting each other, and then they end up in a certain place, and then a thing happens, and it's like, what? Where? Who? Where's everybody? It's like they're moving left, they're moving right, cameras flying all over the place, and it's like really, it's like why even film the action scene? Just like point at a wall and just hear like poof, 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 oof, ow, ow. You know,
Star Trek
that's my hair.
Star Trek Beyond currently 83% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I really did enjoy it.
Everyone's enjoying it. I think I just came out with a bad attitude.
I didn't want to like it because it was the Fast and the Furious guy directing it, one of the directors of Fast and Furious. And it was also had a motorcycle in the trailer, and I'm like, what the fuck is that motorcycle in the Star Trek universe? How does that make any sense? It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, they had
Makes
the classic
a decent
car in
amount of
the
sense.
first Star Trek film, the J.J. Abrams
They
one.
also had a motorcycle in that scene, and the motorcycle didn't have wheels. That's one of the
that is
things.
true.
That's one of the things that bothered me
That is
about
true.
that. The reveal for the fact that they were in the future was showing the motorcycle. in the original Star
in the
Trek
teaser,
trailer,
yeah.
the original reboot trailer.
The J.J. Abrams one.
Yeah, but I'm really hoping for the next Star Trek to be like an undiscovered country, like Star Trek V. That was a great Star Trek movie, and it played on like it was in the Klingon.
Yeah,
the Klingon Empire fell apart.
Yeah, I would love it if they did something where they actually dealt with like. There's been some Star Trek films and also a big theme that was in the series, which was dealing with like new races, and they really haven't like. I mean, they touched on the Klingons a little bit in the last one, but barely. So I love if they like discovered a new race and that surfaced, some sort of dilemma or diplomatic problem or some sort of like, I don't know. I prefer they did that.
I love watching diplomatic problems in movies, just like The Phantom Menace. It was so good.
So different.
all the ins and outs of the diplomacy. Oh, fantastic.
But a big part of Star Trek was social commentary. Like they tackled diversity before anybody else would. And there was always like going back to the Undiscovered Country, which is the one I talked about from the original series of movies. That was based on basically the Klingons were the Russians and the Soviets and the fall of that empire and dealing with your enemy who is now humbled, but they're still dangerous. And it was cool. And I think there's a lot of things they could draw from today. They just keep going back to the same thing of a guy that you didn't know has a bad ship that'll destroy you.
Also, one of the dumbest openings, I think, to the Star Trek films. Like that opening, like action sequence.
That was dumb.
That was really dumb.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, Simon Pegg wrote this one.
Love him.
And I love Simon Pegg. When I saw that scene, I was like, what are you doing, Simon Pegg? What's up with it? He was only one of the writers, but I was like, this feels like goofy Simon Pegg. I don't know how I feel about this opening.
Yeah.
So.
That was also the way I described the film. Was the film felt like it was written by a fan. It felt like a fan film, as opposed to someone coming at it from like a different angle or from a fresh perspective. It felt like a fan wrote this.
Not a bad thing in this day and age, though. So did the first one was written by fans of the original series.
Okay, well, this one felt like it.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
It felt like someone had been holding on to like this really cool episode of Star Trek. Like, what if this happened in an episode? And they turned that into a film, So
it just felt like one long episode as opposed to an actual movie.
But to segue into something else that you and I did just recently, that's kind of where we are now with big, long-running franchises. Like Blaine and I went out to Lucasfilm, and we sat down on the Star Wars podcast. Everyone in there was somebody who grew up with Star Wars and is now working on Star Wars.
And when dealing with the Final Fantasy VII remake, that's something Square said for a long time, that they didn't want to make Final Fantasy VII again because they were all fans of it.
Right.
And they felt like they were too affected by the project.
I think a part of, because this is coming from someone who was a fan of Rooster Teeth and then now makes stuff for Rooster Teeth, I think something you should try to do, even if you are someone who's coming from that background, is that make stuff for the fans, not like you are one of the fans, or like don't make it seem like it was made by a fan. It seemed like it was made for the fans. Like I don't mind a Star Trek movie that was made for a Star Trek fan like me. I grew up watching the show, but don't make it seem like it was just a really cool idea that some kid had.
But what does that mean though? That's like really broad. You're like make something for the fans, but not like made by the fans.
Well, I think it's just like it's the general feel of it. It just felt like a really cool like episode idea, as opposed to I don't know. I felt like the first Star Trek, the reboot film, felt like a fresh perspective at the Star Trek franchise, and was written by a fan. I mean, J.J. Abrams is a self-professed Star Trek fan, but it didn't feel like it was just written by a fan.
The premise of Star Trek Beyond has a lot more potential than when I think it delivered, but it was still very fun. Like the potential of where they go, I don't want to give anything away. So we'll stop talking about that. Okay. But Gus and I got to do something which we're going to be talking about later this week, talking about long-running franchises, is Gus and I went up to San Francisco, just north of San Francisco, to Novato. Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm. Like a great rice-a-roni in San Francisco. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's the best. And we went to...
You're way too proud of that joke. You are way too proud of that joke. You should not be smiling that much.
It took me a second. I was like, what? Oh, okay.
But we got to go up and take a look at Civilization 6 in its current state of development and take a look at it. And that is, of course, that's a franchise that's been around since 1992, 3? Somewhere in there?
So, yeah, maybe earlier. Let me look.
Yeah, so that's a franchise that's been running now for a very long period of time, 20 years. So there's people that work on that franchise who grew up playing that game, and it's the same kind of thing. So we'll talk more about it this week on the patch. I will definitely try to drop in and discuss that with you. We might even have some stuff to show from it as well.
Civilization is one of those franchises that even though I've been a gamer my whole life, been playing excessive amount of games, that kind of thing, there can be entire franchises that you just never touched on.
That's true.
And Civilization,
Metal Gear Solid's that for me.
I've got several. Like I've never played Mass Effect.
Civilization was 91.
Is
91?
Is Gandhi still evil?
He's not evil. He's just AI driven. So he does stuff that like he counter to what he would do in the real world.
Yeah.
Like drop nukes on you.
Because he's trying to win.
Well, no, because I
Depends on what you do to him.
I've never played Civilization, but I know that it's like in the original one, Gandhi was supposed to be the most peaceful person ever. He had the highest peace level, whatever that meant. And then, through the game, if you could do stuff to increase everyone's peace score, and because he had the highest one, his peace score reset and went back to the bottom, so he became the most war-hungry character in the game.
You've never played.
I like. I want to play a video game developed by Chris.
I know.
Wait. So you've never played a Civ game?
No.
So far the theme of this podcast is Chris talking about things that he has
He's
neither
never-
seen or played.
Well, you start talk about something I've done.
I don't know. I mean, what have you done, Chris?
It was
Never mind.
It was interesting
out.
because when we landed in the San Francisco airport, we had to take a car. There was a car service to take us up to where we were going, and we were in the car, and Bernie and I were using our phones, and we were, I guess, casually talking about Pokemon Go, and the driver overheard us. He's like, "Oh, y'all playing Pokemon Go?" And we're like, "Yeah." Then he's like, "Y'all in a hurry to get where you're going, or you want me to drive you around a bit?" He's like, I know a couple spots, and he took us on a mini tour around San Francisco to he's like, I know popular Pokemon Go spots.
And this is a cab?
No, it was a hired car.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it was the cab. That'd be a really smart way of getting more to your fare. It's like, hey, you want to make some detours?
And so people are correcting me. Final Frontier was Star Trek V. That one was where they go to find God. You don't want that one.
Okay.
Star Trek VI was the undiscovered country. So
Yeah.
thank you. Sorry. That's true. I was wondering how it's usually the odd numbered movies were the lousy ones.
Yeah.
In the first Star Trek series. I was wondering, did Undiscovered Country break that? So I was just mistaken. So thank you for correcting me.
So he took us by one spot that was down by the water, and he's like, oh, there's 3 Pokestops here, and there was a crowd. I'm not kidding, of probably 80 to 100 people all out there on their phones playing.
Yeah.
And we got out and we walked around for a little bit, and there were these 2 joggers who were running by, and one of them turns to the other and goes, "What's going on here? Are all these people playing Pokemon?" The other one goes, "Yep."
Actually, I don't know. Do you remember what she actually said?
No, what did she say?
She goes, what's happening? Is Pokemon happening? Is this Pokemon happening right here? She couldn't even put it into words because she's so outside of video games.
Is Pokemon happening?
She goes, is this Pokemon happening? and nobody looked up from their phones, and the guy jogging with her just laughs and goes, "Yep," and they just kept jogging.
But it was amazing to see that many people out there and everyone
Well, that's
just
if
kind of
you go
walking
out
around.
to if you especially on the weekend, if you go out to Zilker.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you go to Capitol.
Guess who's got a Charizard? Me. Charmander's all over. Lousy.
Yeah,
Not
Zilker is
Zilker. Auditorium Shores is
Auditorium
lousy.
Shores. I went to Auditorium Shores on Sunday and did a tour of all the stops and got a bunch of Charmanders, that kind of thing.
So good.
Yeah, it's really good.
How do you guys feel about the fact that they
Bullshit.
they
bullshit.
updated Pokemon Go? They took away the feet,
bullshit.
the footprints, because they weren't working. So the solution was, we'll just take them away. We won't fix them. We'll just remove them. And then they also shut down all of the apps that track Pokemon for you.
I'm fine with that. I never use those stuff.
There's a
I never
great
use that.
Teddy was okay with that too. Teddy's
There's
like,
a great parody account called Niantic Lab, at Niantic Lab on Twitter, and the actual Twitter account for the people who made it is Niantic Labs, and so it's very hard to tell. But they're a parody one, and they put up a picture today of the egg hatching screen, and they said, along with this update, we took away showing you how many steps you've done for your eggs. Fuck you. And that was a parody. Is yep, that's basically what the footprint going away is.
I bet that would make people so furious. They should not reveal at all that is a fake account. They should put every tweet should be very straightforward,
Yeah.
no fuck yous or anything like that. It's we removed this because we didn't think it was important.
I think another one was, yes, we've noticed the bug about all the gyms looking yellow. We're trying to fix it.
Yeah,
You know Pokemon Go?
Yeah, I do.
We're talking about something you know.
I do.
That was a genuine laugh. You knew what the joke was.
I did.
Are you playing Pokemon Go?
I am. Yeah.
What level are you?
I don't want to say.
What level are you?
I'm 14-ish.
No, it's
That's
good.
not bad.
I feel like it's embarrassing.
No,
it is embarrassing.
I'm
That's-
level.
that's
What are
pathetic.
you?
I do feel like that's embarrassing.
What are you?
18.
Okay.
18.
I'm level 20. You will get to level 20 before I get to 21. It's just some guy.
Yeah. The scale up of how much XP you got is insane.
The thing is I could probably power level really fast. I have a ton of stuff, candies and stuff. I'm just kind of waiting. I'm using drop an
Yeah.
egg and just go crazy.
That's what I did.
Well, I'm waiting for that moment when I've got 2 hours to kill, where I can really get everything in a line and just
Let's do it 30 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
One lucky egg at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm weird. Where I like to build things up in my head, guys.
Okay.
Did you hear about the guy who specifically went out to hit the level cap? on Pokemon Go where it currently exists.
What's the level cap?
It is level 40.
Yeah.
And I can't find the stat here, but the reason Luca used a bot, he freely admits he used a bot to help him hunt Pokemon. Get out. First of all, I want that bot, whatever that is. The reason Luca used a bot, and this is from GameSpot.com, http:// The reason Luca used a bot is because if he did it on his own, he'd need to gain more than 50,000 XP a day for a year straight.
Whoa.
To hit the level cap, which is just like, I don't even know. 50,000 experience, I think at my level would take me up a level a day, basically.
Like, I understand a level of difficulty or like
Pokemons.
longevity you got to build into games. That seems a bit excessive.
Yeah, some of that stuff I think they scale, and then they're just like,
No, nobody will get there.
Yeah, remember what was the thing you remember like that initially? That was like in the achievement system. There was stuff they'd put in there like, what are you fucking putting this in there for?
Oh, I don't
like
know.
Graw had be number 1 in the world. That was an
That was
achievement.
terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there was, what was the name of the achievement? It's very famous, but Gears of War, and you had to get 10,000 multiplayer kills.
Yeah.
It's like, seriously? It was seriously, right? Yeah. Seriously 2.0.
I always hated I love the Batman games. I fucking hate the Riddler trophy thing. Every single fucking game.
Go find your trophies.
Hundreds of trophies. And just go find them. You got to find them, and then you also got to do a puzzle. It's just stupid. I hate it.
The only thing I really hate about achievements now in video games is that I like to get all of them, and it always seems like
catch 'em all.
you never know going into a game. It's like, okay, this game's great. You unlock like 5 achievements in your first play session. You're like, oh, this is great. I'm on my way. I'm going to get all 100%. And then as you get about a week into the game, you then learn when you get to that point of like, how do I get this achievement? You look it up, and you find out that one achievement is going to take about 3.5 months of playing to get that. And it's like, oh, what the fuck? I spent all this time doing this, and I'm never going to get this last achievement because I'm not going to dedicate my life to this video.
Yeah, I basically don't play any console games anymore. I'm all PC now.
I got a great PC game.
So I don't do achievements anymore because who cares about the Steam things? But when I did do achievements, I like getting the fictitious award. But anytime there was multiplayer achievements, like, well, I'm not going to perfect this game because
I don't think there should be multiplayer
No.
achievements.
I hate them.
I think achievements are how you make single player competitive. I think that's what it's for. Now, granted, if you want to make a multiplayer achievement that introduces people to the multiplayer system in a game that people don't typically play multiplayer, like Assassin's Creed, then make it something like get to level 5.
Or launch multiplayer.
Or play one custom map.
Right.
Or like something
Lose
that you
10
can
times. I got it.
Yeah.
Something that all the multiplayer achievements can be done in basically one straight play session.
Halo's bad
What
about
about a
it.
game that's like primarily multiplayer?
Well, then if it's primarily multiplayer,
Like Titanfall.
Yeah.
oh, well, that's all. There's no single player
Yeah.
campaign in
Yeah.
Titanfall.
That, I understand.
Yeah,
that,
there's something you can do.
But
at
like
that point.
Halo's one, or like most FPS games,
Like Halo and COD.
like
Definitely
COD,
would be.
I actually play those games for the campaign. I don't really care for multiplayer. And so when things like when Halo came out with DLC, that then you had achievements with it, but
Yeah.
then there were maps that you couldn't get to because they weren't in the rotation. Or
sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, okay, cool. Thank you for building it and making it so I can never get this score.
There's an
Appreciate
NBA
it.
game that was play at the same time that 10,000 other people are playing. It's like, I can't affect that.
Yeah.
That's your game being unpopular. I mean, there's very few games now, where a month or two after they come out, they have any kind of, appreciable online population.
There's just so many games now. It's like it's just spread horizontally so much.
It's nuts.
And it falls off. Like I was huge. I played Overwatch constantly for the first several weeks it was out.
Mm-hmm.
I think I launched it once in the last like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like just yesterday, I was like, oh, I'm gonna try Overwatch. I haven't played it in
Yeah.
a while. I played like one round. I was like, all right, cool. It's still
Yeah.
fun, but
Yeah, I
there's so
still
many
play
other
it.
games to be playing.
I'm playing a lot of Dead by Daylight.
To give you an idea of how much 50,000 XP in a day is, you get the most you get for XP in the game is 1,000 XP for hatching a 10K egg.
Or if you have a lucky egg, you can get 1,000. I mean, you get double.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is with eggs on.
No, you
Like,
can
they're all-
evolve
yeah.
something and get 1,000.
But beating every Pokemon in the gym gives you 50 XP, so you need to do that 1,000 times in a day for a year.
Or going to a Pokestop gives you 50 XP.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pokestops. Then 500 is adding a new Pokemon to the Pokedex. You can only do that so many times. 500, evolve a Pokemon. What's your best Pokemon? What do you got?
I'll look it up.
I don't really have very good ones. My best one's a Flareon.
Mine might be a Flareon too, actually.
Mine's a Machamp. He's 1,400, and I'm really proud of him. So I'm gonna make fun.
My Flareon is
I can't. Look
12.
at what we are doing.
1,200.
Look at what we have become.
This is it. This is it, Gus. Hey, look at this. You know what? Here's the way. This is a prediction that we've been making for years come true. And what is that prediction?
That we're all fucking nerds.
No, that AR was going to be way more ubiquitous than VR.
Yeah.
Like VR, there's people that have
What a
invested.
poetic sentence.
Thank you. There's people that have invested $800,000 in a VR setup, and it's just sitting in their living room right now. But an AR game comes along, everybody in the fucking world is playing this game.
I'm really embarrassed.
Why?
It's a Pidgeot.
No, it's not.
931.
That's you never talk again. Hold on, let me see what I got
You
here.
didn't level up your Eevee enough.
I'm gonna show you my Pokemon, Gus.
I know.
You got it. Before
early-
you evolve your Eevee, you need to level them up because they go exponential.
Now listen,
I didn't know that when I did this. Okay, John.
I also want to be clear about something. I get the feeling that talking about Pokemon and there's what does CP stand for? Combat points?
Yeah.
Combat power.
Combat power. You said yes, so you're in.
Just because I'm a yes
You're
man.
in the same boat as me.
I'm a yes man as you.
We're all wrong at the side of the room.
I love you, Bernie.
Just because we're talking about Pokemon and their CP doesn't mean we want to see yours and how they're better. So you keep that shit to yourself, you people at home. I don't want to see on Twitter. I don't want to see an endless screenshots of you and your fucking Pokemons. It's all fake anyway, I'm sure.
Have you seen
Fuck
Adam
off.
Baird's? Like he posted a screenshot. He's got like 2,000.
No one
points.
is better than Adam Baird.
Yeah.
It's impossible. I refuse to believe there's anybody.
Makes me feel bad.
Is it true that Adam Baird wrote a script?
Yes, he did.
Did he really? That would analyze the map around the office and would tweet.
Yeah.
Or like
he called it Professor Oak.
really, and it would message
It would-
everybody
it
in the
would-
company
yes.
when something was nearby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's unbelievable.
It
to
would.
me.
We had a Slack group, and it would go like.
It was like a private Pokevision.
yeah.
Diabolical. All right,
He's so smart.
my best. Yeah, I got a Machamp, and he's like 1,400. I still like 1,400. He's 1,302. I rounded up
Wait,
pretty
you
hard.
said
on,
1302?
yeah, I rounded up pretty hard on that one.
I was like, oh, he's pretty much higher than mine. My Flareon's 1274. We're like 26 points apart.
I got some Geodude
28.
candy. Watch this.
Someone had Gyarados that was like 200.
yeah. What?
200.
Wait,
That's
how's
possible.
They caught. They didn't. They didn't.
Oh, they
evolve,
caught it. Okay, they
it
caught
in
it.
the wild.
We were in New York City. We went to go do. I don't think I talked about it last time. We went to go do the VR experience.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
the Ghostbusters one, where you go like. It's at Madame Tussauds.
Did you not mention it? I think you did.
Yeah, I might have. Anyway, we went to go do
You
it.
mentioned you were going.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is in that. Spoiler if you're going to go do that. It's a lot of fun. You hit him with your proton pack. It was really cool to like wield that. I've had two really cool experiences with like childhood franchises that I love. One was I went to this Madame Tussauds thing, and admittedly, I love the Void and their technology and everything. Admittedly, this thing needs a lot of work, but there was a cool moment where we were out like on a balcony shimmying between two windows on a New York apartment building. That was pretty cool. I mean, that felt like I was,
Yeah.
30 stories up.
Well, have you seen those videos of those people doing the walking the plank to save the kitty?
Yeah, that looks so great.
Yeah.
I would do that.
What is it?
It's like the VR thing, and it's people that
Patrick,
are.
you could probably pull this thing called Save the Kitty.
Yeah, they're inside of a room and they have a VR headset on, and the VR scenario is that they're like on a high rise, and there's a wood plank that's going out over like nothing, and on the end of it is a kitty, and you have to save the kitty.
And they're blowing fans
And
at
so
you and everything.
they're on like a plank in the room.
And then the plank is really in the room, and there's a stuffed cat at the end of the plank and
Yeah.
everything, and there's wind blowing on you, so it really completes the illusion that you're,
People
80
like
stories up.
fall over and like freak out.
They're all freaked out. Patrick
Aw,
might.
it's a
put
cute
post.
cat too.
Yeah. There it is, right there.
Yeah, this is it. That's their view, but this is what. This is a different video than I saw. The
Yeah,
one I saw
haven't
was like
seen
in a
this one.
warehouse.
They're in a more closed room.
Yeah. The one I saw, like, people were, like, scared shitless. They were, like, on the floor, like, inching along. Guy stumbled.
So that was you shimmying a balcony.
If you're listening to the audio podcast, I'm sure you can just look up Save the Kitty. Very important you say kitty, not anything else, because you might get a different GIF.
Save that pussy.
I said GIF, by the way, sorry.
No.
I pause every time I say it now.
Hashtag GIF.
I should say YIF. That's the new thing that people are saying in
Isn't
protest.
Yif like animals having sex?
Is it?
No.
Hold on,
Someone
Chris.
Google yiffing.
I don't want to. Do I want to? Do I want to do
What
that?
is yiffing?
It's like furries having sex.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't know what it is.
Before we get too far off the topic,
What is
It
your
is-
thing for is having sex. Yeah, this thing is
No,
not
no,
working
no,
so
it's
well.
the other really cool experience I had from a childhood franchise just recently is I played a Star Trek VR thing, which I was like, okay, this is what I've been waiting for.
What was the VR thing?
It was the Tatooine one that just came out.
That's Star Wars.
What'd I say?
Star Trek.
Oh, sorry. That's this one, Star Wars, and not Star Trek.
We can tell you're a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from Star Trek 5, The Voyage Home. And you get a lightsaber
Tatooine.
in it. And there's a Jawa and he attacks Gandalf.
what was the Tatooine thing?
It was, what's the name of that VR? It's a free demo, so anybody who's got a Vive can download it. Trials on Tatooine. Thank you. I was going to say Trouble on Tatooine, which sounds like a George Lucas title for a movie. Trouble on Tatooine. But yeah, it's really great. It's really basic. It's probably about 10 minutes, maybe.
There we
do
go.
the whole thing.
We're looking at it.
But it's just a cool, like the Millennium Falcon here flies in. We're watching a clip from Achievement Hunter playing it.
Oh.
And
I should watch some of their videos sometime.
we should watch some of their videos.
I still have not used one fucking VR headset. I
No?
have not used VR.
Oh, you would love it, John.
I keep going to your house and watching your damn cats, and I see that VR headset there, and I'm like, I want to use it, but I don't know how to use it.
Why don't you come to
John's-
my office? You know I've got them all set up in there, right?
I didn't know you had one in your office.
Yeah, I've got,
There's
I've got
also one
everything
in
in there.
stage 2.
Yeah, but someone's got to help me.
No.
Come by my office.
Okay, I'm going to come by your office.
I have it all
Pop
set
my
up.
cherry.
Are you frustrated when you read like people setting up their Vive for 8 hours? To me, it's you plug in 3 things and it's all set.
Yeah, you
like,
plug in what plugs in, then you like draw a square, and you're done.
Yeah, and the lighthouses don't need any help. They don't need to be plugged into anything except the wall.
Yeah, the only problem I have with the lighthouses, and I'm not sure if it's the way they're mounted in my office, is over time they droop.
Just buy a tripod. That's what I did for mine. I bought 2
Yeah.
$25 tripods, which is $50. It's expensive, but I'm not gonna drill in my wall one day.
Yeah, just drill
and I've
in the
already
office
spent
wall.
like
Not-
$700 on this, monitor essentially. So, but you should play it.
Come by
John.
my office.
Okay, I'm going to come by your office.
I'll show you some stuff. Here, I got another thing to read.
But anybody look up yiffing before we get
Oh,
to
I
this
did.
sponsor?
Let
I
me
was
read
right.
this before you read that.
Oh, the suspense. The suspense.
I want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by Blue Apron. Not all ingredients are created equal. Fresh, high-quality ingredients taste better and are better for you, so it's important to know where your food comes from. For less than $10 per meal, Blue Apron delivers seasonal recipes along with pre-portioned ingredients to make delicious home-cooked meals. Blue Apron knows that when you cook with incredible ingredients, you make incredible meals, so they set the highest quality standards for their community of artisanal suppliers, family-run farms, fisheries, and ranchers. Whether it's Japanese ramen noodles, wild-caught Alaskan salmon, or heirloom tomatoes, Blue Apron is bringing you the best. Blue Apron features new recipes that are created each week by Blue Apron's culinary team and are not repeated within a year. Each meal comes with a step-by-step, easy-to-follow recipe card and pre-portioned ingredients that can be prepared in 40 minutes or less. Check out this week's menu and get your 3 free meals with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/roosterteeth. You'll love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron, so don't wait. That's blueapron.com/roosterteeth. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. Thank you, Blue Apron, for sponsoring the podcast and for having delicious food that is easy to make, that even I can make.
And now for yiffing.
And this.
Learn to make your own food. One of the
Agreed.
things that I spend
Agreed.
a lot of time with my kids is they got to learn to cook. They got to make their stuff. Like JD made Teddy breakfast the other day, and it was great. We just go through everything. Like we have all these little culinary experiments. Like JD and I, we did a really fun thing. We went down to Auditorium Shores to hunt for Charmanders. The goal was to have a picnic, and then we would just walk around and collect Charmanders to the point where we could evolve to a Charizard. I know way too
Please
much.
don't pronounce it like that.
I know what Charizard? What do you
Well,
say?
you like your Charizard.
Charizard.
Just say Charizard.
People are really up on or down on the way that I pronounce things.
Well,
The way
you
I
like
pronounce the word up.
over-enunciate it. You don't need to. You know what it is. Just say Charizard.
People don't like the way I say.
Star Wars?
No, the
He says it with a hard
They don't like
T.
the way I say hashtag. They don't like the way I say the Queen's name on Game of Thrones, and I
Oh,
say
right,
it the
right.
correct way.
What's the queen's name?
Cersei.
Okay.
And everyone goes fucking ape shit on Twitter whenever we talk about Game of Thrones. They say, stop fucking saying her name is Cersei. Her
Why
name
is
is
it
Cersei.
the correct way?
What?
Why is it the correct way?
Because that's the way George R.R. Martin says.
Okay, so he says it that way.
There's interviews with him where he says Cersei.
Okay, then I agree with you on that.
It's also a name. That's
Cersei.
I've never heard the name Cersei. I mean, they might, and if I have, it's spelled Circe, not the way she spells her Sei at the end.
Cersei.
Okay.
So you're at
enough of
Auditorium
that.
Shores.
Oh, they also got mad at me because I pronounced something else weird the other day, and I can't remember what it was now. They were very
Star
upset
Wars?
with me. Not saying Star Wars. It wasn't Star Wars. But it was like, and now John's mad at me for pronouncing Charizard in a
It's
weird
not
way.
even pronounced just how you said it, just Charizard.
Charizard. Well, it's because there's Charmeleon. There's Charmander.
Just let it,
Charizard.
just let it flow right out of you, Bernie, okay?
So we went to that. So JD and I, we had some summer sausage left from that, which is basically like, I mean, it's Earl Campbell brand, but it's like that Pepperidge Farms sausage that you don't have to refrigerate for whatever reason. And so we just tried like different ways of cooking that, like with brown sugar. He found some weird method where you boil water along with it and a little bit of vinegar and then let it burn all the way down, and then that sears the sausage. It was actually pretty good. It wasn't bad. But I love doing that stuff, like making your own pizza dough,
Yeah.
making your own pasta. It's like I could always cook for myself at an early age. Like, when could you learn to cook your basic food for yourself, Gus?
Last week?
No,
Yeah.
seriously.
No, probably as a teenager.
Really?
Yeah, 14,
I feel like
15,
at 8
14.
years old, I was making myself eggs.
I think I wasn't trusted around.
was
the
that
time.
latchkey?
I same here. I didn't start cooking until I feel like college.
Really?
And I was like, I made my cooking skills have not progressed since college. I make spaghetti and eggs and
Well, hey,
sometimes-
I've got a service for you.
and
It actually,
go.
and
There you go.
fish.
What do you do with the
Okay,
fish?
That's
cool.
it. Yeah.
How do you make fish? Is so complicated to make.
No, it isn't.
not.
No, it isn't. No, not my fish.
You have fish sticks. What do you make? What do you make?
You just get some fish that are raw. And
What
then-
kind of
Okay.
fish?
Here you go. What?
Name a fish, Chris.
What are you eating? You go to
Name
the
a
store-
name of a fish.
You go to the store. You give me fish.
Sword?
Swords.
Swordfish.
You buy swordfish?
That's expensive.
You just said name a fish. I was thinking of
Name a
What
fish
fish
you
do you
eat?
cook?
Why are you going off the reservation for that?
He's continuing the theme of Chris talking about
Salmon.
things he's never
Salmon.
done.
Salmon. There we go.
You just buy fish, and then doesn't matter what kind.
God damn
You
it.
buy it. It's
It
alive.
matters a little bit. I'm gonna go to the butcher and go to the fish section and go, I want sword.
No, just say I want fish.
I want to buy one fish, please.
And then I just, I put it in what I do for cooking is whatever I'm cooking, I just put like dressing on it, like salad dressing.
You put like Italian salad dressing?
Yeah, whatever dressing I have.
Ranch?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh.
It's whatever dressing I have. It's like I'm cooking fish or whatever it is. I'll just put dressing on it, and then I'm like cook it. I'm like, oh, it tastes like
skipping so many
balsamic
steps.
vinegar.
Do you put like Thousand Island on it?
Sure,
Like, look,
yeah.
it's like you're back in the ocean, swimming amongst the islands.
Yeah, because it's like all those flavors mixed together into one like, cool sauce, and then
Chris,
So walk me. I gotta get walked through the salmon.
I don't normally ever eat seafood. If I go to your house, will you cook me fish? I really want to try
Can
this.
we have a fish cook-off with Chris and like nobody else? Just Chris?
Chris, you need to make us fish.
I'll do that. Just give me a couple salad
How
dressings.
about a fish cook-off between Chris and Teddy, my 11-year-old, and see who can make better fish?
Can we get a Michelin star for a food truck? Of
I don't know
Chris?
how he couldn't qualify. I have no idea with that stunning recipe of fish and dressing.
What kind of dressing? Whatever.
Whatever.
What kind of fish? I would like sword with
Oh my god.
Well, it's because I can vary up my flavors by what dressing I.
So Chris,
The fish. That's why the fish doesn't matter. 'Cause it just all that matters is the dressing.
you gotta walk me through this whole thing.
I gotta see this. I
You
gotta
get
see
a
this.
piece of fish. You get a
No, he gets a fish.
You get fish. Doesn't matter what kind of fish. You come home and do what with it?
Well,
There's so many ways you can cook something. How do you cook this fish?
typically what I'll do is I'll just put it in a pan, and then I'll pour dressing on it.
Okay,
then
and
I'll
that's
cook
it.
it.
Then you eat it raw out of a pan. Dressing on it. Like there's
I'll put dressing on it, and I'll flip it over so it gets on both sides, and then I'll just cook it on the oven thing.
So you're cooking on the
the
stove top.
oven.
On the stove top.
Like the
top,
stove.
yeah.
So you're
That-
basically like frying fish in a pan, basically.
With
essentially.
dressing.
Yeah.
With dressings. And you put the dressing on as part of the cooking process, not after it's cooked.
Yeah, before so it gets like cooked into it.
You don't use any oil or anything, just like a nonstick pan.
Sometimes I'll spray the stuff on it.
God.
The Pam's.
Pam's.
Pam.
Pam's.
Butter spray, whatever you call it.
Someone please sign Chris up for Blue Apron. Please. Someone just.
I cannot wait to see the animated adventure version of this.
Oh my
It's probably like
god.
that social disorder that they did when they're eating iguana and everything else.
Oh,
You know, I will not use that grill ever since Marcus cooked the iguana on it. Did you know you used the grill?
Yeah, I used the grill during the steak off.
Yeah, but it's like,
It's fine.
yeah. I mean,
Iguana was really smelly.
an iguana is an edible thing, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in the world be happy to eat an iguana.
I'll eat iguana.
They
Yeah,
eat it
really?
in Australia.
I'll try it.
Did you see on Reddit there was a quiz that you could take that was 27 questions that had nothing to do with politics?
Saw that.
And they would determine where you fall on the political
I
spectrum.
did not see that.
I thought it nailed me.
It did. I took it too. It got me pretty well.
What? Now, so I'm kind of curious. Where did it put you? I'll tell you where it put me. It put me pretty much dead in the middle, but like probably one or two questions to the left, more liberal.
Yeah.
Where did it put you?
About same thing. Probably a little bit further liberal than you.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like 100% one way or the other. It landed in a pretty like accurate spot.
But there were questions in there like, would you eat a monkey?
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine what would be. I mean, if you said yes, do you believe that like any animal is like there for people to eat? Essentially, is that?
I said yes because I'm curious how a monkey tastes.
I'll eat a monkey.
I think I said I would eat a monkey in that too.
Depends on what kind
But
of
you
monkey
wouldn't eat
it
a
is.
person.
I didn't. I would need a person.
Name a
Yeah,
monkey.
this is an old argument. I'm
Yeah.
bringing back.
No, I would need a person.
Bonobos monkey. I feel like eating a monkey. I wouldn't want to eat a monkey. I would maybe if I was like really hungry, or if that monkey was like a dick.
Really, that's all it
But
takes.
that monkey was a dick.
No, like
just let you
Chris
know, I
would
wouldn't eat a
never eat a
monkey.
monkey unless he was hungry.
Yeah.
Then he would eat a monkey.
If I
I mean,
just
I'm
had
not
a
gonna
meal.
seek out monkey because I do think they're pretty smart and like it's kind of like a.
There we go.
I might be willing to try to eat.
Yeah, and there was degrees of like
Oh.
how much you agreed.
And so,
or
let me
there was
read
also,
this.
like,
See-
there were an entire set of questions where how much you were disgusted by the question.
Yeah, the question is, I might be willing to try eating monkey meat under some circumstances, and the answers are truly disagree, mildly disagree, neutral, mildly agree, and strongly agree.
I think I put
I'm
strongly.
gonna have to
agree.
try that out later.
I think I'd do. God, I don't know. Maybe neutral on that.
I start once I get too deep into these surveys too, I start overthinking my own thought process.
Yeah.
Of like, do I strongly agree with this or do I mildly agree with this? It's like I mildly. What would qualify for mildly? So it's like I get lost in my own head on these dopey things. We'd take a ton of tests for the Amazing Race. It was like a whole day. I haven't taken that many standardized tests since like high school.
What percentile are you in?
They wouldn't reveal any of the information to us. They asked us questions though about it, like, how do you think you did on this test? How do you think you did on that? So it was interesting.
Yeah,
But
I hate when you get like customer service surveys that are like that, where it's like 1 to 10, strongly disagree to strongly agree. It's like, I don't want to do this. I just don't want to do this.
When you have you ever taken like a survey like at a restaurant when they leave like the surveys on the table?
No,
Oh,
fuck
I do that
no.
a lot.
You take the surveys?
Yeah, a lot of times you get like a free burger or something.
Did you ever got anything free from that?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Chris is a very frugal person.
Chris, also, you're the one critiquing the taste of the food at restaurants, and you cook fish with
Not enough dressing.
I have
This fish didn't have enough ranch on it.
You can get a good cycle going where you get like free fries every time you go to a place or something.
Yeah.
Because you'll buy a burger, and then you'll be like, oh,
Like
fill
the
up.
way Chris describes it, you get in your groove. And you get this good cycle.
And you'll buy a burger, and then it'll be like, fill out this survey, and you'll get a free fries next time you come. While I'm eating the burger, I'll fill out the survey, acquire new fries for the next time I come,
yeah.
and then get fries and a
done
burger.
that.
Yeah, it's just a constant cycle of fries.
Where's the place where you get free fries? Can you say? Or are you on an NDA from your
there's-
survey?
The one that's coming to mind is Smash Burger.
Yeah, smash burger is a lot.
Price Burger. Yeah.
I have
Why do they have different sizes of fries? You said Smash Burger, but it made me think of Five Guys. Why do they have different sizes of fries at Five Guys?
What
you
does
mean
that
the
mean?
fries themselves or the serving
Or like
fries?
servings. Like you can get like small, medium, or large. But in the end, it's just like, here's your fries, and then here's a bag full of fries.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
They just pour like
Yeah.
a shit
doesn't
ton of
matter.
French
It
fries
doesn't
in
matter,
there.
yeah.
It doesn't matter. You never have to order anything other than small.
I go to every burger place basically once and then go back to In-N-Out almost every time. Or Smash Burger, which I love Smash. Not Smash Burger.
What about P. Terry's?
Shake Shack. P. Terry's is, I don't know if they have other places outside of Austin, but it always felt like our solution for not having In-N-Out.
Yeah,
and then
it
once we
is.
got In-N-Out, it was like, okay.
P. Terry's is still better than In-N-Out.
I like.
though.
I like
In-N-Out's got better fries.
Mighty Fine's better than all.
Mighty Fine's the best.
In-N-Out does have better fries, but P. Terry's is closer to me.
Yeah, same here. Before we get off of Chris's crazy frugalness, I was reminded the other day of a funny story about you and me, about when I got divorced. It was a very stressful time, as most divorces are.
Fucking hilarious so far.
Yeah, funny thing. And so when it finally ended and it was all over, Chris took me out. I told him, and he wanted to take me out to get lunch or something to, like, I guess, sort of celebrate the end of it.
Fish dinner.
Chris took me to Cece's Pizza,
What?
where we ate the pizza buffet at Cece's Pizza, midday in the middle of the week.
See, I guess Cece's Pizza, by the way, is, just to be clear, is like a $2.99 buffet of pizza. And pizza is a relative term.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like pizza with
pizza-like
one Z.
substances.
They can't legally call it pizza. It is a pizza-like.
It's the kind of place when you're in college, Sunday you go to Cece's and it's the best day of your life
Yeah.
because you eat enough for the whole week, essentially.
You know, I had a good time. I don't know what.
I enjoyed the company.
Do you go to the Cece's by the gym?
No, it's the one here by the office.
Where's
This is Cece's by the office?
Yeah, it's like a little hidden gem.
Where is it?
It's up. I think
It's like
you go-
towards
yeah.
where like the Target is, like that direction.
There's a CC's over there?
yeah.
Oh, I'll be damned.
And yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, it was.
I enjoyed
pizza
the company.
and
I
salad.
enjoyed the company.
Yeah.
That, by the way, that's the new thing that I do when I go out. It's pretty much since Pokemon Go that made me kind of discover this. Is now when I go out with people, one of the questions I always ask people in a group of like 6 or 8 people, like a few couples, is where's a place in Austin to eat that you don't think other people know about? And try to find like little places. And the crazy thing was somebody mentioned a place, and then Ezra took us to dinner there, and then we went to a brunch there like the next day. So it was weird that I heard about this place and then ended up going there twice, totally from
Not connected.
somebody else's suggestion. Yeah, but I mean, living in Austin so long now, it's like there's tons of restaurants, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I've been to all
Yeah,
these.
I'm trying to make
places.
an effort where once a week I'm going to a restaurant I've never been to.
That's
Yeah.
good.
That's a good
And
idea.
I'm trying to see a bunch of new places.
I went to a place around the corner from here called Daidue. Is that how you say it?
Daidu.
Daidue? Is that how you say it? Daidue. And that was good. The place is good.
Hated it.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
What's wrong? What was it the beets?
No,
you
that
have
was
beets?
fine. I had some
was
kind of
beets in what I
some
ate.
kind
I
of
didn't
steak
like
that
the
was
beets.
Tell us more about the beets,
overcooked.
Carney.
I didn't like the beets. They were charred.
Hashtag beets.
Jesus. Say beets a few more times.
I thought it was just too fancy. Like it tried to be overly fancy for the sake of what it was.
Especially if it, like, felt like it was kind of in a strip mall a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
So it's
you.
like sometimes I think some places overcomplicate the food and they try to make it like this new style of cooking. It's like no.
Oh.
No.
Now you make me want to take Gavin there because Gavin would fucking hate that.
I have a question, and it's a question I'm curious as a person who moved to Austin.
Go ahead.
Someone's coming into town, and they want to have Austin barbecue. Where do you take them?
I would go to Micklethwait.
What?
Micklethwait.
Yep.
Never been there.
It's really
Good
close
choice.
to Franklin's.
Okay.
Obviously, I think the brisket's better at Franklin, but if you don't want to wait 4 hours in
Yeah.
line, you go to Micklethwait, and they've got very good brisket, but they've got an awesome beef rib.
Okay.
And I think the thing that separates Micklethwait from other barbecue places is they have really good sides. Usually, barbecue places are just about the meat,
Yeah.
and everything else kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Micklethwait, it's all good.
Chris?
I go to Bill Miller's, but that's because it's
Oh
close
my
to where-
God.
Oh,
Miller's?
wait. Not because just
Miller's.
Bill Miller?
wait.
I'm not
Only-
from Austin,
wait,
but I
wait,
even
wait.
know that was a bad thing
That
to
is
say.
like, let me put in context for the audience. That's like, hey, Gus, I got some people coming in town. We want to go to like a nice
need
steak
a-
place, somewhere that serves beef. Where should we go?
A nice steak place that serves beef?
Something that serves beef. Where
I
should
was
we
saying,
go?
well, I would say if you want a great burger place, I got a burger place I can recommend. It's awesome. It's called McDonald's.
Yeah, that's what it is.
See,
It's
that's what
saying
I would do
McDonald's.
because I was gonna say Bill Miller's because it's really close to where I live, and
Chris!
it's like it is the least amount of work for me.
So now we're gonna be able to find out where you live just by this cross section of CC's and Bill Miller's.
They're like pointing at each of those cherry points and
Pete
an arrow.
Terry's, Bill Miller's, CC's. Chris is there.
I will say this: where I would take somebody who's coming in from out of town,
Yeah.
is I think a highly underrated place that a lot of people would probably put in the same category as Bill Miller's is Rudy's. I think Rudy's.
Rudy's is solid.
That's what. That's my go-to.
Rudy's is
Rudy's
really
has
good.
great barbecue.
Yeah, they're
They
totally
do.
solid.
Totally
and it's
good.
consistent. Every time you know it's going to be exactly like the last time you had
And you
it.
know about how big the line's going to be.
Yeah, that's
you
why
might
I
be
go to
off
it.
by like 5 minutes, which is, for some reason, Texas barbecue is mostly beef barbecue. And barbecue takes a long time to cook. And so as a result of that, barbecue places feel like you should wait in line for fucking ever. I don't know of a barbecue place where you just like walk up and order it. Rudy's, you can get that sometimes. Bill Miller's, because it's McDonald's.
Well, Rudy's, they're just constantly back there cooking, cutting.
Yeah, but I always, what's the logic there of like, why do, like, even when you go to Salt Lake, you're waiting there 2 hours before you even get a table sometimes. You know, when you go to Franklin, you're in line for fucking 5 hours.
Yeah.
I've never done that. Gus, if I ever do that, you have permission to laugh at me.
Yes, I will definitely laugh.
Have
at
you ever waited in the Franklin's line?
I did, but not the 5 hours. Like, there used to be a food trailer near my old house.
Oh, right.
And I would walk there all the time because it was like, oh, cool, yeah, I'm just going to get barbecue. And then it got popular.
Yeah, is that what
I used to go
Micklethwait's-
there before it was popular, before everyone knew about it.
Here's a place that you might not know about that's actually really good. It's up. We're totally into like this local eatery thing. Go up Burnett. There's a place called Switch Style.
Oh, I hate that place.
Oh, do you really?
Style Switch?
Style Switch. Is that what it
Yeah.
is?
Oh, God. That barbecue, I once
This
got
is probably
piece
a
of
bad time
sausage.
to bring up that today's podcast is also brought to you by
switch style.
I had some, and I brought it to go. I brought it back to my house, and I'm normally not a big sausage fan, but I was like, I'm going to try their sausage. I'm going to try all the different barbecue that they've got. I picked up this piece of sausage, and I bit it, and there was so much grease in it that a stream of grease shot out and hit the wall opposite across from my dining room table.
Money shot.
And the stain is still there. I cannot get this fucking grease stain out of my
over
wall.
it.
I did. The grease stain came back through.
It will do that. It will do that. Yeah, you gotta
I
prime
can't
it.
get rid of it.
That's
so
impressive.
I'm fucking mad at Style Switch for having greasy ass sausage
So
to
it has-
stain my wall.
It has nothing to do with the actual food.
Food wasn't that great either. I'd much rather go to Mecca Wait. Mecca Wait's awesome.
Okay.
All right, well, that's our tour of Austin barbecue
I'm just
places.
curious.
If you ever-
Food's a big
Actually,
thing. Food's a big thing in
somebody
Austin.
comes in town, I'm gonna take him for breakfast tacos before I
Where?
take him to barbecue. It's just about anywhere. Down south, we go to Taco Express. I love that place. Very classic Austin. It's like a bunch of junk used as art and like this huge lady statue.
Taco Deli's good.
Dude,
love
Torchy's.
Taco
Can't go
Bell.
wrong with Torchy's.
No, blah,
Taco-
blah.
no, no,
Have
they
you
don't
been to
have great-
Tyson's?
Go to Paco's Tacos.
Tyson's also. on the
Sorry,
airport.
we can get off this subject so we can stop talking about local
All right,
places to eat.
so
I
I watched
apologize.
a-
It's a throwback to old like podcasts, and all
Yeah,
we do.
yeah.
We'd have it right before lunch. So all we would do is talk about local eateries.
I'm going to read one more thing, but I want to talk about, when I'm done reading it, I want to talk about a documentary that I watched over the weekend.
Right.
Want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Braintree Payments. By next year, maybe even next week, there could be a whole new way to pay. Maybe it'll be the next Bitcoin or the next Apple Pay, or, who knows, maybe even both. Fortunately, Braintree's full-stack payment platform is easily adaptable to whatever the future holds, so you can adapt easily too. Accept everything from pounds to PayPal to that next big innovation from any device with just one integration. And when that new payment method comes out, all you'll have to do is update a few lines of code. No late nights, no complicated recoding, no stress about staying ahead of the curve. Braintree Payments is here to help. Learn more at braintreepayments.com/roosterteeth. That's braintreepayments.com/roosterteeth. You can set up and take payments right there using that website, using that URL. Thank you, Braintree, for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. So, not having to do with the internet, I watched a documentary. It was a Vice documentary over the weekend about, and it's going to sound like I'm lying to you. It's going to sound like I'm making this up. It's about this area in the mountains of Peru where on Christmas Day, everyone in the village gets drunk, then they all come out into like the town square, and they all fight each other.
Oh, I love it.
And it's like, if you've had a grievance with someone
Christmas?
on Christmas morning, if you've had a grievance with someone during the year, you call them out in front of the whole village and you fight.
You gotta say why?
No, you just call them out, you fight.
So it's the purge?
But they have rules, like you're not supposed to pull hair, you're not supposed, you can
It's
only
in Peru, dude. It's called El Purge.
you can only
down there.
punch and kick, and you can't hit someone who's on the ground. So it's
Wait,
like,
we're watching
Well, what if
footage of
someone
this?
doesn't show up? What if someone doesn't show
no,
up?
everyone's there. They go, like the crowd.
They're all in
Goes
masks.
through the village, pounding on all the doors, making sure everyone comes out.
Oh, so everyone has to participate.
Everyone is there, and
But does everyone have to fight?
if you're called out, yeah, you have to fight.
If it's
Oh,
your first
man.
night, you have to fight.
And so they go to a couple of different villages, and like the video we just showed us from the first one, and it's kind of a festive mood, like everyone's drinking and having a party, and then every now and then there's like a fight, and it's just kind of like a couple of half-ass punches. But then they keep going further up the mountain, and they get to another village where it's fucking on. It's like there's like little kids fighting each other.
Jesus.
There's women fighting each other, and
Is this something you want to implement into Rooster
That's
Teeth?
what I was gonna say.
it's
Like, are we going to have, like, is April 1st, like, our birthday, also our Get Your Beef Out Day?
yeah, we should. And it's like, and that's it. You're whatever problem you had, you're done. It's settled. It's over. You gotta let
Okay.
go of that shit.
Yeah, but nobody does. I mean, next year you're beating the guy because he beat your ass. That's what you're gonna be like. I'm like, I want a rematch.
You have to wait a whole year though.
And then
Yeah.
that guy's but then that guy's mad because
But
like
you can only fight so many people, so you got to really prioritize who you're mad at.
I can fight a lot of people. It depends on how the first one goes. You pick them, right?
Will you fight
can
me,
you pick?
Bernie?
Can you go?
Bernie,
Yeah, you pick who you're
let's
fighting.
fight.
Well,
We
you
used
can
to-
can you do
we
more
could
than
do
one?
like a ring and get like gloves and
so.
stuff, but I don't know.
What
That
if you're
seems like
like
a bad idea.
What if
I
you're
wanna
like
fight
that
you,
guy, this guy, all y'all come at once?
we were gonna have for an immersion? We were gonna have
That's right.
Michael and Gavin do training exercises from the MMA video game, and then like get in the ring with an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Nope, I would not do that.
We figured a boxer would be bad because a boxer could actually like give you brain damage, and an MMA fighter it'll be so fast it'll just like really hurt and you get all banged up, but you probably won't have like any long term effects.
Well, that's like when they did that on Jackass with, like, the female kickboxing champion.
That Asian lady who
Yeah.
just kicks. I
Just
think
took her knee right through his skull.
she kicks. Oh God, what's the name of the guy that died? Not Jeff Tremaine. Ryan Dunn. She kicks Ryan Dunn in the stomach, and it's just like it looks like one of the most brutal things
There
ever.
was that MMA fighter who got his face shattered recently. Was
Dude,
it
that was
Cyborg?
fucked up.
Yeah, the guy
saw
like
Joe Rogan posted
kneed him
that.
in the face, and then the guy who won like threw a Pokeball, acting like he was catching him. But the guy who got kneed in the face like posted his X-ray of his face to Twitter.
Wow.
And it is just like shattered, like pieces.
Yeah.
From where the knee hit him in the face.
Patrick, I took a.
Is that an
something
illegal
from-
move or something?
No.
No,
Just
he
happens when
yeah.
you hit someone hard enough.
I took something from Twitter. Somebody had a picture of Chris in the kitchen. They sent it to us. Do you have that? I sent it to you on instant message. So see if you can find that.
An instant message?
I sent it to Patrick via instant message.
What do you mean, like AOL instant message?
Yeah, it's on the.
You still use AIM?
No, I don't. I sent it to you on MMS. Is that better?
I was just wondering.
I texted it to you.
Okay, I was just curious. Hey, don't be so like defensive.
You don't be defensive.
That's his skull.
Yeah. I'm showing Chris the X-ray.
That's not good. The skull should not look like that.
Yeah, there should not be that many pieces.
Skull should be different.
There's Chris in the kitchen.
You got Gordon Ramsay. Yeah.
Oh man.
So it's
So
just
Gordon
me
Ramsay
yelling
say-
at myself.
The fish needs
The
more
fucking fish
dressing.
needs more fucking dressing. Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to move to Peru.
Yeah.
Long going back.
You were before that. You were ready to go to Peru.
The story they talked about the history of it. It was really interesting. I guess like this region in
Is there a history behind people getting drunk and beating each other up? Is there really a history?
There
like,
is.
There's a
some
rich
noble
history.
story.
they
behind
talked
this?
about how it's an area that resisted occupation and has resisted occupation for many years. Like when the Spanish conquered South America, they could not conquer that part of Peru because the people just fought them so vigorously. And before them, when I want to say it was the Incas were conquering that whole area, the Incas never captured that area.
Really?
And to this day, people in that area, they can speak Spanish, but they still have their own dialect, like the own language that they've held on for thousands of years now, that they don't speak anywhere else.
I like these people.
Just because anybody who shows up on Christmas Day, they're gonna fuck them up.
yeah.
It's like it's a real, and then like it's just a real, I don't know, a real
It
like.
seemed like a lot of people. When you said a village, I'm thinking like there's like 40 people.
No.
It's a huge
It's
festival.
like several thousand people.
Yeah, all out there wailing on each other.
It was fucking crazy.
Who would you fight?
Who would I fight? Like at Rooster Teeth?
Yeah. Christmas Day.
Man, I don't know. I'd probably fight Brandon.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because?
The entire
He's-
production
he's
staff.
been
just started
annoying me a
laughing.
lot lately.
Would you wear a
I'll
mask?
fight Brandon. Yeah, I'd wear a mask. I'd totally
You know
wear
what
a
I
mask.
discovered?
Who could it be?
I discovered recently that when we shot a immersion at RTX, and I discovered that at this immersion that I can tell a lot of the people in this company, even if they're masked or in disguise or anything like that, just from their walk.
Sure.
You couldn't tell me, I bet.
I totally could tell you.
No. I did that. I did the sponsor only version of the immersion. I had a fucking good disguise.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. I was there.
I
Saw you immediately.
No, you did not.
Who was in that one with you for the sponsored one again?
Who else did it
Was
with
you
you
in-
for the sponsor one?
It was Michael and Gavin were in the main one.
Me and Bruce.
It was Bruce.
Bruce, right? Bruce.
Bruce
Because
is
we did it.
disguised
We
pretty
did it
funny.
during RTX.
Yeah. It was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Who would you fight, Bernie?
Yvonne, probably. No, I don't know. She's our CFO. I don't know. I don't think there's anybody that I would.
You have
You
to.
gotta
You
gotta
have
fight.
to.
I
someone.
do. Do I have to choose
You have
somebody?
to.
Is that part of the deal?
That's
I
what
have
you
a
told
gun
me.
to your
I have
head.
to-
Who are you gonna fight?
You can say me. I'll fight you.
Nah, I wouldn't fight. You're too scrappy. I want somebody I can hopefully beat.
You could beat you. You'd beat me.
I guess it's a balance of who you want to fight and who you,
You
think
know what?
you could win.
I'd tell you who I'd fight. I would fight Alan Abdeen because I think that no matter what happens at the end of it, like he's the guy that would be able to walk away from it.
I think Alan would wreck you.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All right, now I want to fight Alan. No, I think Alan Abdeen because I feel like we're similar sizes,
You are
similar
similar
age,
size, similar builds.
similar age, and I feel like we could just go at it and then whatever happens, happens. That's it. You know,
Just yeah.
sounds like we're having sex by the end of that, but that's not at all
You
what
can
I'm
go bouldering
intending.
together.
We go bouldering.
Oh wait, I asked you before the podcast. I was asking if you would ever go bouldering, and I assumed
You said rock climbing.
Well, he's.
Oh my god!
So
Can I say bouldering? Can I say rock climbing? Who fucking cares?
Does bouldering mean indoors?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Were you?
The place is called Austin.
Were
yeah.
you indoors? You were there.
It was indoors.
Okay, so it's an indoor rock climbing wall.
Yeah.
So it's like an outdoor thing, but it's indoors. So you would
I
love
didn't
that.
climb any
Gus.
rocks. I climbed indoor.
Bouldering is a form of rock climbing is performed without the use of ropes or harnesses.
There you go. It's an actual thing. I was
did it without
calling the
ropes?
thing. Yeah.
Well, because it's
Just free
indoors, there's
climbing.
like mats and stuff, and it's only like 10 feet high.
No, you go up about. I mean, there's some that were.
You go up like 11.
Yeah. No, there were some that were like at least like 15, 20.
Maybe.
That's a fall. You fall from that. That's serious.
Probably.
You ever watch some of those bouldering like finals that they have? They
Like the
post clips from.
speed climbers.
It's crazy.
They're just like they're in constant motion.
They're inhuman. They're inhuman. It's nuts.
Couldn't do
It's-
it.
It drives me
Couldn't do
insane.
it.
No.
No.
Wait, but you said you couldn't do it. You wouldn't do it because of the physical activity. Now you're saying you couldn't do it. Why couldn't you do it?
There's no way I could lift myself up like that.
Okay, so you mean just actually you couldn't accomplish the
Right.
physical activity of it?
Right.
I think you'd be able to get up some of the easier ones.
The ones that are like at a slope where you can slowly
Yeah, they're
go
like
up.
color coordinated, and there's like a certain color that's easier to go up, and there's a certain color that's harder. There's like ones where you have to be upside down. Those
Yeah,
are insane.
I'm not doing that.
But okay,
So-
so you said, but your answer was because you said you wouldn't do it because of physical activity. Have you, and on this discussion about the fighting, have you ever been in a situation where you've actually wanted to fight someone?
I wanted to punch someone this weekend. I don't know if that counts.
What did like
What did you do this
just like
weekend?
you wanted to surprise clock them?
Yeah. It's
Who?
gonna sound so dumb if I explain it.
You don't want to explain it?
I was at a coffee shop on Sunday, I think.
As the common places for fights.
And I went there. I just ordered a cup of coffee. It was in the morning. I was going to take it back to my place and drink it. So I ordered my coffee, and I look for a place to sit down and wait while they brew it. And I say, oh, there's an open chair. So I sit down, and so there's a chair, and there's like a little side table here. And on the side table is an issue of the Chronicle. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool, there's a chair. So I just sit down, and the chair next to me is empty, and it's got like a bag in it. So I'm like, okay, I guess someone's sitting there. So I sit down. I'm sitting down for like 30 seconds. I pull my phone out to look for Pokemon because there's a Pokestop nearby.
As you do.
And so I hear someone behind me go, ooh, hey, I'm actually sitting there. That's my seat. He goes, that's my issue of the Chronicle. You see, I left it right there. I was like, oh, okay. So I stood up to leave. I was going to give him his seat back. Like,
Sounds normal.
It's bullshit, by the way.
Yeah,
That's not how you claim a
magazine on the seat.
Whatever. I'm like, that's fine. You want the seat? I'm just waiting for my coffee to leave. And guy looks at me, and he sees I'm playing Pokemon. He goes, oh, don't worry, there's Pokemon over there. I was like, what kind of fucking thing is that to say to me?
What?
I wanted to punch him right in his fucking teeth.
Jesus.
I'm
Don't
making
worry,
you
there's
move-
Pokemon over there. Like, he's talking down to me.
like that was why you were upset.
Right. Like, I'm not even upset. I was fine with the guy until he said, don't worry, there's Pokemon over there. Don't fucking belittle what I'm doing, asshole.
Local Austin man punches another man.
I was so fucking
That would have
mad.
made me mad too, though. I'm with you on that.
It's kind of condescending.
It's super. Yeah, absolutely. It's just. Oh yeah. Don't worry. Your little Pokemon they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're
you
over
don't
there,
have to sit here to.
like, oh, cool. Thanks for letting me know. I didn't know that there were Pokemon over there. What a fucking dickhead.
Dude, I started to tell this story.
You should have been like, there are chairs over there too.
I thought about it. I really did.
I started to tell a story on a podcast a long time ago, but I talked about running into the rare bird, which was the Austin asshole. When you run into like just an in-your-face kind of weird asshole. And I ran into a guy like that. We were down off of South First Street. You know the trailer park where Torchy's started, food trailers. We were there, and I forget, we were in line for that place that sells the cake shakes, which is probably the greatest thing ever. They take an ice cream shake, and they put a slice of cake in it, and then blend it up.
Interesting.
Oh
Have you
my
been to
God.
that
No,
place?
I have not.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
Where is this?
It's south. It's like South
First?
just south of Barton Springs Road. You know where that splits, where Riverside splits with Barton Springs?
What's it called?
It's called Cacao, I think.
All right.
I'll look it up for you. Holy cow! Right.
Holy
thank you.
cacao.
Holy cacao?
Holy Cacao. Is that what it is? Thank you.
Going there next Sunday.
This guy knows everything. I like the fact checking over here. But they have a red velvet and vanilla cake shake.
Red Velvet's bullshit.
What?
Red
All
Velvet
right.
is bullshit.
bullshit.
It's food coloring.
Kind of came out of nowhere. Didn't it?
Doesn't matter. It tastes good.
I'll punch it in the mouth.
Anyway, it's a long story
So
short.
does chocolate cake.
Oh, there it
dumbass.
is. There's a cake shake. Look at that. They have blended we're showing a picture of it right now on the monitors. They blended a cake into a shake.
Oh, I've seen that sign.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to go
I'm
there.
sure you have. That's what you go there just to get that. And they have cake balls, which, by the way, is basically just cake batter covered in chocolate.
Yeah, I know
It's
that.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Very moist.
It
It's
is.
Good. All right. Anyway, the
Could you
story's,
say very
story's
moist
going
one more
nowhere
time for
fast.
me?
Basically, I was in line. Beats. I was in line, and I was with the kids, and I think Ashley was there too. And it was a while ago. And the guy behind me was with a girl, and I was talking to the kids, and I turned around, and the guy asked me a question. The kids were talking to me, and the guy asked me a question, and I was like, hold on a second. I said, what? And he goes, do you know where these started or something like that? I can't remember what the fucking question was. And I was like, oh, I said, I don't know, whatever. And I turned back around, was talking to the kids, and I heard the girlfriend say, what did he say? And the guy goes, I don't know. He goes, that's what's happening in this town. These assholes come in from California and they think they own the place. And I turned around and I go, what the fuck did you just say? Some about that just absolutely infuriated me. And I pulled the whole, I asked him, I said, how long have you lived in this fucking town? And he goes, I wasn't talking about you. I go, who are you talking about? And he goes, oh, you look like a guy that I know who's from California, so I thought you might be that guy. And I go, you're a fucking idiot. And the girlfriend like turns and walks away. And like I got my food, I got everything. I felt bad because my kids were there and I'm cussing at this guy. We got our food and everything. I literally, after we left, I walked by the girl, go, your boyfriend's an asshole. Like just like walking away. Something about that guy just fucking infuriated me.
I am so aroused right now.
Wait till Christmas Day and call him out in front of the city of Austin and be like, the Long Center in front, down by Auditorium Shores.
It's so weird because I talked about running into the Austin asshole on a previous podcast, but I didn't get, we get derailed and don't finish something that we start. And I've had people like ask me about the guy that I met that was an asshole for years, and it's like the story just came up again.
That's it.
So yeah, it's infuriating. But that's like literally one of the only bad experiences I've had in Austin in 20 years of living here. Like
yeah, so you've lived here longer than just about anyone.
Well, I mean, not.
Well, I mean, but you know what I mean. Like,
the Burns they founded Austin.
But I mean that in the sense that like I've lived in Austin for over 10 years now, and when I tell people that, they're like,
I came here in 1990. I came to Austin.
Yeah, and people are like, oh my god, you lived here forever. I'm like, well,
Gus was in. When did you come here? 95.
I was born here, lived here when I was a kid, moved away.
Important distinction.
Moved back when I moved back in 98.
98.
so
Seems like it was earlier than that.
I have a weird thing.
Okay, please.
On a date, right?
Chris has one of those smiles that lets me know that something bad is about to happen.
Oh, I was looking at this pillow. I love Hitler as a verb, and it made me think of a date.
Just gonna settle.
Made you
for this
think
story.
of a date?
So I was
Like a date in history or a date with a person?
date with a person.
that happened on a date in
So
history.
I was on a date at some point, and
In Nazi Germany.
and I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I'm listening to
While you're on
Okay,
dates?
I gotta slow your story down for just 1 second. I promise. I gotta know, how did the date happen? Like, did you see this person? You asked them out. Was it someone that you knew? Like, how does that magic work for you?
This is a person I met
in
person.
A person you met in person.
Person I met in person. Started talking, hung out.
You met a person. You met a person in person from talking. Were you talking at a party or like at a coffee shop?
It's like a park type thing.
And so
Park
then,
type thing.
so then
No, like,
I'm the girl.
What's a park
At
type
what
thing?
point in our conversation are you like, I'm gonna ask her out on a date?
It was, we hung out for a bit, and I'm like, oh, goodbye. And then the point of goodbye was like, hey, well, we should, let's like be friends on Facebook or something. And then from there, kind of talking, like, hey, let's go grab a drink or whatever.
Okay, so you asked her out over Facebook after you got to know her in person.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks.
we go.
I'm just curious.
And
how it
anyway,
works.
so, I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I'm currently,
That was magical, by the way. I want to fuck you at this point. So. Go ahead.
Thought it was humid in here.
but anyway, I listen to audiobooks. I'm really into history, so I'm doing one right now on Hitler and World War II. Anyway, so I've been hearing a lot of audiobook about Hitler, and at some point during the date, Hitler came up. We were talking about Hitler.
Okay, how did Hitler come up? Guess how do you think Hitler came up?
They were talking about things that they have in common, things that they hate, that they both hate. Hitler. That's an easy starter.
It's easy to talk about how big of a dick Hitler was.
Right, yeah.
Right. And
You're
so-
finding common ground.
I don't know. I don't remember
Hey,
specifically.
I saw, since we're friends on Facebook, I noticed you don't like Hitler on Facebook.
That's in Facebook they have like your likes and dislikes down at the bottom. Hitler was down there.
Yeah. So anyway, we were talking about Hitler, but then it was a weird thing where we were in the discussion about Hitler.
It was a weird thing. John, it was a weird thing in the discussion about Hitler on the first date.
She kept saying things that she kept like
Saying what? Let's stop talking about Hitler?
She kept saying, I don't know, it sounded like Sig Heil. I'm not quite sure.
No,
What
it
other
was just
races
like,
do you hate?
No, it was just things where like she would say little things that weren't correct, and I kept having to like correct her about.
So you're like a fan of Hitler? Like
That's how I felt.
Actually, let me mansplain some Hitler shit to you.
And it kept having. It's like I had to stop myself from correcting facts about Hitler because I knew too much. Because I just listened to this audio book about World War II, and I'd be like, it was one of those things where we were talking about like Hitler and his kids. I'm like, she was talking about, oh yeah, you know that none of his kids actually ended up having, blah blah blah, and none of his kids had other kids. I'm like, actually, I don't think Hitler had any kids. And I had to correct, about that.
You
knowing,
said actually.
or
Actually.
and then later,
Actually.
there were a couple other things.
So you're sandbagging your Hitler knowledge so you don't seem like you're kind of being like a Hitler hipster where you don't want to seem like you know too much.
I was like, I don't know how much, but I also was like, I wanted to correct the Hitler mistakes.
Can't have misinformation out there about Hitler, Chris.
Don't we all?
You
Don't we
can't.
all?
And then I had to stop myself, and I'm like, anyway, the point of the conversation was, on a date, do you correct someone if they say things that are incorrect?
Only if it's about Hitler.
John, we're gonna role play. I'm gonna play the girl.
Okay.
You ask me how the date was.
Oh, ask you how the
Yeah,
date
I just got
went?
back from the date with Chris. How'd it go?
Hey, Bernie, how'd the date go?
Oh, that guy was crazy. Hey, do you want to go out to get her hair done?
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's how that story went for her, Chris. Took her 2 seconds to explain to her friend, you're a fucking lunatic.
He's
She
really
probably
into
just was
Hitler.
like, I don't want to talk about it. Can we go do something?
But it's like, I could, you know what? Never mind. We're going to leave.
Yeah, I shouldn't talk about Hitler on dates. I mean, that's
How'd it go? Second date?
not yet.
Is this recently?
No.
Why'd you say not yet?
It was 3
there a
years
chance?
ago. It was 3 years ago.
No, you never know.
If she can dig your way out of the hole in my backyard, yeah, we'll go on a second date.
Oh,
sure, why
man.
not?
I love that eternal optimism, Chris.
I'm just going through all my first dates and feeling a lot better about them right now.
We were talking about movies earlier, and I meant to bring this up.
How do you get most of your dates?
Tinder.
Okay. Sorry, Gus. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. So the Suicide Squad movie
Yeah.
coming out this weekend.
Suicide Squad.
People very strong opinions about it. I know
not even
nothing.
out yet.
I know nothing about comics. I've said this many times. I know nothing about Suicide Squad. John, you know about comics,
I
right?
do know about comics.
Do you know about Suicide Squad?
I do know about Suicide Squad.
Bad guys who do good stuff.
How do they motivate bad guys to do good stuff?
They-
What's the potential
They dangle a
downside
carrot.
for them?
Two things. One, in the comic, they are working off a life sentence. So by doing these
They're
missions,
working off. Okay.
by doing these missions, it reduces their sentence. And two, they put nanite bombs inside of them.
Okay.
So
like,
the nanite bomb is more so not so they do the mission, it's so that they don't go and kill
Escape.
people or run away on the mission. But it's mostly like, hey, you have done a heinous crime that would never get you out of jail ever again. We'll let you get some of your energy out and even maybe get to kill some people by doing like Black Ops missions that we can't have superheroes be doing. And we can't have them seen be doing stuff.
and then they also have the potential to leave jail.
They have potentially jail. Marvel has the exact same thing with a team called Thunderbolts. So they both have done it. Both
Yeah, they're not
franchises
making a
have done it.
movie about that one.
I like Thunderbolts kind of a little better than Suicide Squad.
I hope they make a movie out of what's the Marvel comic they had where the people who clean up after superheroes destroy a city?
Oh, I can't remember what it's
Damage
called.
Control?
Yeah, there's a name of the company is what they are.
Damage Inc., right? Or
Yeah, I
something?
think it might be Damage Inc.
But Damage Control is the name of the comic.
Okay.
What's that? We got control rooms yakking. What- It's
That's
gonna,
right.
Oh, it's going to
that's
be a
right.
Netflix
There
series?
is.
There's so many comic book Netflix series now. I can't keep up.
Well, it's an easy place to pull for adaptations. Like it used to be books is where you got all your adaptations, but like comic books are.
There's just so much shit. Like I haven't seen Jessica Jones or The Flash
Me
or
neither.
any of that stuff or Daredevil. And now they're going to be the Defenders.
yeah.
Like there's this whole other.
Well, that was the whole plan. It was kind of like how Avengers was the plan with the MCU. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist were all to lead up to Defenders.
Did you and I have the big long discussion about Mrs. Marvel?
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel, sorry. Thank you. That she's Carol Danvers, right?
Yeah.
And then this blonde lady. But then there was a black Miss Marvel at some point. Like she was part of the West Coast Avengers.
Well, there's
Nobody ever seems to remember her.
well, there's been like different versions of like a lot of superheroes.
But they act like Miss Marvel's been the same Miss Marvel the whole time. Am I misremembering this?
right.
Is it
Well,
Captain Marvel?
there's even like a Miss Marvel right now that is Kamal is her name.
Yeah?
She's a little, I think,
Kamala
Pakistani.
Khan?
I think that's her nationality. And she's Miss Marvel because
Someone
Miss Marvel's
corrected me though. It
Captain Marvel
said
now. It's Captain Danvers.
that Miss Marvel has never been anything but Carol Danvers the entire time.
I
I
doubt
looked
that.
up Miss Marvel
Thor's been a
on
frog.
Wikipedia.
Everyone's been something.
I see Carol Danvers, Sharon Ventura, Carla Sofin, Kamala Khan.
Okay, fair play. The person who corrected me is a jerk and needs to move back to California.
Yeah.
That's what I heard about that guy.
Just wrong. So I mean, people are upset about that trailer.
Why are they upset about Suicide Squad? What is
I
it
don't
that's making them upset?
I think people don't like. It's the whole thing. People don't like Jared Leto as Joker.
I saw a great.
Yeah, there's never been a bad Joker.
I saw a great gift set of Will Smith in an interview, and they were talking about the weird gifts that Jared Leto gave to people, because that's been a thing people talk about. And it's Will talking about how he's like, yeah, I got a pig with its throat cut, and that's what was given to me. And the interviewer was like, well, how did you respond? And his response was like, I texted him like, hey dude, this is just acting for me. And I was like, that's actually a really good response, because yes, that is stupid. What is Jared Leto doing? I love the idea of people saying and I guess they're even criticizing Heath Ledger, but they're like, how has Mark Hamill played Joker for 20 years and hasn't gone crazy or done something dangerous or suicidal? And the answer is because he's acting. It's not like him. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. Jared Leto doesn't need to do that to get into the character of Joker. He doesn't need to be walking around New York City testing laughs out on actual people to see which one gets the crazy reaction. It is good publicity, but it's also just a crazy fucking person. That being said, I'm excited about the movie. I want the movie to be very good.
PG-13 seems like an
like
choice.
it should be an R.
Yeah.
Well, because in the comic book they kill everybody. And there's in the one that they're basing this on is the one I think that came out in the DC New 52. There's literally a character that instead of Croc, there's this character called King Shark, and he's constantly biting people's heads off and ripping them in half, and it's just gore and stuff. So I don't know. I guess they're gonna really file it down to make it a PG-13.
You think it'll do well, box office?
I hope so.
I don't know. I think so, but it seems like everything box office is not doing that well this year.
I made a prediction that this is when I thought that people could, if anything, could put an end to the superhero run of successes, like the streak that they have going. This might be it.
I think it will do, regardless of whether or not it's good. It'll do great the first week. People. I think there's enough talk about it, enough hype. It's been overhyped.
What do you mean the end of the streak? There's been bad superhero movies before.
Poorly performing ones though. What's the last poorly performing superhero movie?
Green Lantern.
That was a while ago,
That was
dude.
10 years ago. The Ryan Reynolds one?
Okay, but I'm saying that's there's been bad ones.
I'm talking since the Marvel, when was Green Lantern released?
Well, there hasn't been any bad.
Would you
Marvel
not admit
ones.
they were on a hell of a streak with
They are in hell of a streak.
successful?
I thought you meant there hasn't been one yet.
Oh no, I mean there's Tank Girl, fucking Blade 8 or whatever.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck. Dude, people got so excited about him in Guardians of the Galaxy. I could not be any less
Why
excited
is
about
anybody trying to make anything else with Howard the Duck?
It's because it's the inside joke thing.
It's an inside joke. I agree
It's
with
like,
that.
oh, I know, I remember that.
that. No, Green Lantern was 2011. Not that long ago.
There
5
you
years
go.
ago.
Fantastic Four.
Oh, Fantastic
Oh
Four
my
did
God.
poorly. Thank you.
I finally watched
You should be on
that
the podcast.
movie. I finally watched the new Fantastic Four on a flight to LA. I was like, I'm finally going to watch it. It was recently. And because I was like, I've heard it's bad, but I want to see it. I was on the flight, and when I got to the point in the movie where they finally got their powers, not even an action sequence, they just finally get their powers, it was 50 minutes into the movie.
Wow, really?
And I was like, really? 50 minutes in a superhero origin story movie, and they don't even have their powers, much less done an action sequence.
In the comic, what is it, page 3?
That's it. They go up in the fucking ship, and then they get hit with rays and become weirdos.
They come down and have the whole thing with the crash ship, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
And they let me help you. Yoink. And the arm goes out and everything.
So bad. That movie was just a
I heard
train
you
wreck.
also loved the Killing Joke.
Killing Joke was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Whole fucking thing. Anybody...
Look at John just shitting all over your podcast dreams.
It was a bad movie.
If you like comics, this is not the podcast for you, apparently. Get out of here.
What do you mean?
don't
There
know.
have been good movies. Civil War was fantastic.
Was there a bad Joker in Killing Joke?
Killing Joke is 53% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It should be lower.
Was the Joker bad?
Hamill performed his lines well.
Okay.
That's about the best I can say.
People get really upset every time they cast a new Joker. There's never been a bad Joker. No one ever said that guy should not have played the Joker. And I think the same will come true with Jared Leto. I think people come out of Suicide Squad and they'll go, actually, I went in expecting to hate Jared Leto, and he was one of the best things about the movie. I actually like Jared Leto.
You're going with low expectations, right?
That's me in the motorcycle. He's my motorcycle from Star Trek. That's what Jared Leto is as the Joker. There's never been a bad Joker. The character itself is so fucking goofy that if you've suspended the disbelief that this murderous clown can be threatening and interesting, then you're going to be okay with however anybody interprets that.
Is there a Joker yet in the Gotham TV series? Isn't there a Joker?
I haven't seen it if there is.
I wonder if
Isn't that
he's
they're all
better.
teenagers, the
I
Gotham
don't know.
series?
I don't watch that show. It's stupid.
Well, then why do you ask?
John hates everything.
I hate everything.
How do you feel about the Flash showing up in the Justice League trailer with blue stoof around him?
It's fine.
Blue energy.
I liked the Justice League trailer. I'm actually someone who, I will admit, Batman v Superman was a bad movie. I enjoyed it still. I think I think sometimes you can enjoy bad movies, and so I I actually went and saw it twice in theaters. Enjoyed it even more the second time. And so when the Justice League trailer and the Wonder Woman trailer came out, I got excited about both of them. I love what's the guy who plays the Flash? Ezra Miller.
That scene felt very similar, though, to me with Tony Stark and Peter Parker in Civil War. Which, by the way, you should go see Civil War just for Spider-Man. That's worth it.
Okay.
I think it's the best, maybe not the best Spider-Man, but definitely the best Peter Parker.
Okay.
You know, like, it's the best Spidey, I think, that's ever been in a movie before.
Agreed.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited about Justice League, and I think Ezra's going to do a great job. I think he's got a good like little attitude that he's going to bring to it.
Yeah. So talking about trailers. We often mention the podcast things that change over time and you don't realize when they change on the internet. And look up. When was the last time, if I said, hey, there's a Suicide Squad trailer out, where do you go to watch that?
YouTube?
When was the last time you went to apple.com/trailers?
It's been a while.
But that would
I
be
remember I used to do that.
Everybody did. You would always go to the Apple website to watch trailers. And at some point, that just turned off. The traffic for apple.com/trailers must have plummeted over the course of the last 5 years. I would love to see a graph on that. They'll never release it. But yeah, that used to be the destination for trailers. Now nobody I know goes to apple.com to watch trailers. http://
www.
You couldn't could you embed apple.com
No.
trailers into anything?
No.
I think that was a big thing then. Because I follow a lot of film blogs, and that's how you embed a trailer, is that you put them, you
that's
do
probably
that way.
it.
I'm actually really happy because they did something pretty shitty, I felt like, very early on, which was they were a destination for people to go to watch trailers, and they got the Phantom Menace trailer. Was it Phantom Menace or was it Clone Wars?
It was Phantom Menace.
It's Phantom Menace. They got the Phantom Menace trailer, and in order to watch the Phantom Menace trailer, either at a certain resolution or at a certain time,
There's a certain resolution.
you had to download QuickTime Pro and buy QuickTime Pro to watch it, which
Wow.
you're paying to watch a commercial, basically, for something else.
I used to have
How many copies did you buy?
I paid for QuickTime Pro, dude. It was fucking
never-
Star Wars.
never paid
There'd
for
been no
QuickTime.
Star Wars shit in 20 years. I was going to do anything I could to watch Star Wars stuff.
I remember a time when I had internet that was so bad, but I wanted to watch trailers at their highest resolution that instead of loading the trailer up and waiting for it to buffer or something like that, on Apple Trailers you could download the trailer, and that's how I watched it because I'd set up
That's like the first 4 years of Red vs. Blue you just described.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I did with Red vs. Blue. Download Red
Download
vs.
it?
Blue.
Yep.
I have CDs at home of Red vs. Blue.
I'm going to say this because I already bought my tickets. Maybe I should wait because you guys might want to go and tickets are still available.
Say it.
Homestar Runner is having a 20th anniversary party in Atlanta.
I saw that.
During Dragon Con, and they're selling. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to go to that thing.
And you didn't invite me to go with you?
Well,
FOMO.
no, I didn't. I did not.
I thought we were friends, Bernie.
I bought extra tickets, and then
I'm
significant
waiting.
others piled on and were like, I would like to go as well.
I'm waiting.
Jordan Swears and I are very big Homestar Runner fans,
yeah.
so we bonded over that. He said it to me today, so it's actually not my thing; it's John's thing. I can't.
Jordan's thing.
What did I say, John? Sorry, I was looking at John. So you're so
It's,
beautiful.
it's a Star Wars thing.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I have such a long day tomorrow, and I'm so tired. We're shooting $1 Million Butt tomorrow.
Wait, how does that work? I have such a long day tomorrow and I'm tired.
No, I'm tired today, and I'm not looking forward to tomorrow because tomorrow's going to be such a long day. So that's
You're
what
gonna
I'm
have
saying.
fun. It's all fun stuff,
Well,
Bernie.
let's wrap this up then.
Okay.
That
gonna
was
end on
easy.
that
Normally
note?
he fights me. That's really weird. I do want to mention.
He's saving it for Christmas. I'm
tired.
People should send us podcast theme songs to podcast@roosterteeth.com.
Christmas fight.
Maybe you can incorporate Christmas fight, maybe not, and we might use your theme song during the podcast.
Also, if you are listening to this broadcasted podcast from somewhere in Japan, Gavin and I will be in Tokyo, Japan this coming Saturday for the Japanese premiere of Laser Team. We will be there. There's going to be some details posted and when exactly that is in a journal that I'll put on the site probably Tuesday morning, but we would love to see you come out and watch the premiere of Laser Team in Japan with me and Gavin. Not appearing in your picture, Gavin. He's somewhere else right now. I think he's in New Jersey.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
Not as cool as Tokyo.